Hello and welcome, my fellow heroes, to my first official video. So, as much as it pains me to say this, as a huge fan of JRPGs, I've never completed a Dragon Quest game. So, when Square-Enix offered me a game code for Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, I had to change that. Thank you so much, Square-Enix, for giving me the opportunity. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have never completed a Dragon Quest game, so I deeply appreciate it if you don't leave any story spoilers in the comments. I will also be approaching this video without researching any answers to my questions or looking ahead to gain understanding of mechanics, so please keep this in mind. There will be some minor story spoilers for the first few hours of the game. Now with that said, let's dive into my first impressions of Dragon Quest III. Now, my interest in Dragon Quest was already sparked by the art style. As a longtime fan of Dragon Ball and Chrono Trigger, I was immediately charmed by that signature style of Akira Toriyama. With the inclusion of both male and female character types for Dragon Quest III, I immediately knew which one was more suited to me. The male had a more determined, focused, and angry expression, kind of like Vegeta, which definitely isn't me. So I went for the female body type. She has a more relaxed, light-hearted look, which suited me best. Right away, your character hears a voice telling you to follow it. If you can hear me, follow the sound of my voice. Yes, come this way. And you're thrown into this beautiful world that shows off the gorgeous Square-Enix touch of magic and fantasy. I immediately felt the warmth of the world wrapping around me like a blanket. Upon approaching the cliff edge with a stunning waterfall, this strange voice starts asking you a lot of questions. Kira, Kira, can you hear me, Kira? I am she who watches over all. One day, not long from now, you will appear before me, a true hero. But before your journey can begin, you must teach me something. Teach me what manner of person you are. You must answer my questions as honestly as you are able. Are you ready to begin? I wasn't expecting the game to start with a personality test. After a few questions and being put into a small room with some NPCs and a choice to make, she told me that I'm a loner. While this was kind of depressing to hear, I really did enjoy this unique start to the game. Usually a JRPG will start you off with a story cutscene, or just immediately have you in your starting town. It reminds me of the small set of questions you're asked in the beginning of your Kingdom Hearts journey, which determine the way your character grows based on your answers. But I will not let her harsh evaluation get me down, because it's my birthday! Well, not my birthday, but it's our hero's 16th birthday. We see a mysterious flashback involving the disappearance of someone called Ortega. Our mum is pretty down about it, but she wakes us with a cheery voice to let us know that we're starting a new adventure today. After a brief conversation with the king, it seems like we'll be following in Ortega's footsteps as an adventurer who needs to save the world. Our target, Archfiend Baramos. Now, one of the reasons I appreciate retro JRPGs like this is how well they condense the information you need to know to start your journey. You're given a brief explanation of who you are and what your purpose is, a starter location to look for, and a pat on the bum to set you on your way. It helps you settle into your new world more quickly and doesn't hold your hand too closely other than a couple of quick pop-up windows here and there to let you know about certain gameplay features. Sometimes modern games can overwhelm you right at the start with too many wordy tutorials and very lengthy exposition from characters, which can leave your head spinning a little bit. But with blessings and high expectations from our king, we set off to Patty's Party Planning Place, try saying that really fast, to get ourselves sorted. This is where my love for this game increased even more. Instead of being on your own and gradually gaining set party members through the story, this game has a party creation system. You can choose predetermined characters if you're feeling lazy and just want to see the story, or you can make them yourself by going upstairs and talking to the NPC behind the counter. Now, you can choose your character's name to get started, and then you choose their vocation. Now, this is very similar to Final Fantasy's job system, where the job determines the character's role in a battle. Our choices to start our adventure with are Warrior, which is your typical tank style role. It hits hard physically and soaks damage. Martial Artist, this is your monk type role, lots of damage and critical hit rates. Mage, your offensive spellcaster, has a high wisdom stat. A Priest, this will be your healer and support role with some offensive support spells. Merchant, I don't know much about this role, but they seem to be helpful in gaining gold and items from what I understand. Gadabout, I can't quite tell exactly what this does because I haven't tried it myself yet, but it seems to be a wild card, almost like a berserker. Thief, a high agility role that can offer support in terms of enemy avoidance and treasure hunting. And finally, Monster Wrangler. Final Fantasy enjoyers will know this as a blue mage style role. They use abilities learned from monsters to fight with. I have to admit, I was happy I didn't have too many things to choose from. I feel like 8 vocations is enough to allow for some variety, but not leave your head spinning with options. I decided to go with a basic setup of hero, priest, warrior, and mage. I wanted to stay simple to ease myself into the gameplay until I felt comfortable experimenting. The game then allows you to choose an appearance for your characters, and they do get a little more options than the hero. You get a set of 4 choices for their looks, which include differences in hairstyle and small tweaks to their outfit. You can also choose their hair colour and voice style. I ended up choosing my real life friends to be my party members, which already made me feel so happy because it meant I could go on an adventure with them. And in turn, they can feel part of my gameplay experience. I was able to laugh with them about their counterparts' battle moves and funny similarities in personality. Once I had my party of lovely friends all set up, I went outside and experienced the world map. I absolutely adore the water effects in this game. It all looks so sparkly and shiny, like a Studio Ghibli movie. It made me want to go take a sip, to be honest. The trees and grass all look so lush and vivid, and it reminds me of the brighter colours of many retro games. And somehow, despite never having played the original game, I felt a wave of nostalgia and joy because it isn't forcing me in any direction. It's letting me just explore anywhere I want, and I can freely absorb the beauty of the world at my own pace. Another aspect of the game is a day and night transition, which is absolutely gorgeous to watch. It has bright sunny days with blue skies, turning into a deep peachy orange tone that falls into the soft blue tones of night. There is something that the game does mention, and that is that enemies become stronger at night, so watch out for that. I really appreciate how quick the battles can be, because you have this nice toggle between a normal speed, fast, or ultra fast. I have a feeling this will come in very handy when I need to grind some levels. I also like the simple battle screen. It switches between a view of your character's sprites in front and this first-person style view that only shows the monster sprites during the attack phase. As a big fan of the Mother games, I really felt a wave of familiarity and nostalgia because that game uses a similar style. I do believe that Dragon Quest did it first though, if I'm not mistaken. Something I found really hilarious though is that if your character dies, they rest in a little coffin that floats around behind you. Best of all, it's color-coded to your character's hair. Gotta be stylish even in death, right? Another interesting aspect of the world map is the secret spots, which is a new addition to the game. They will appear as small points of interest on the map, such as an out-of-place tree or a rock formation. They will be small clearings that you can enter, where you may find useful gear, healing items, or even friendly monsters, which I'll get to in a bit. You can also find little sparkly spots on the world map, which also contain goodies like equipment or healing items. I find it really helpful during early game to keep an eye out for these. You can save some gold simply by finding free gear and medicine. One thing I did find is that talking to NPCs feels a lot more necessary in this game than other RPGs. Along with the usual world lore and flavor text, they do actually give you helpful information and can point you in the right direction. An example of this is when an NPC pointed me in the direction of a friendly monster. These are non-aggressive monsters that can be found all over the world, and sometimes require particular items or roles in your party. I was guided to look around Romeria for a little bunny that seemed to only appear at night. But try as I might, that little guy ran away from me every single time, no matter what angle I came from or the speed that I walked. I even tried using a musk just in case it coaxed it towards me. But in the end, my chat worked out that I needed to use a monster wrangler in my party. They can coax monsters to you and help you gain trust with them. Now, this part I found really fun because it reminded me of being a kid and trying out different rumors, or, friends sharing ideas to get something to happen. I wish there was more of that in modern games, rather than having everything at your fingertips in a 5-second Google search. But old hag rant aside, I'm really glad this game doesn't handhold every step of the way. For example, I got slightly lost on the world map because, due to streamer brain, I had forgotten where I was supposed to go. I ended up inside this random cave and I was not ready for the enemies in there. They decimated my characters and the game didn't stop me from going in there or even warn me. It just gives this amazing vibe of, hey, you can explore where you want, but if you get your butt kicked, that's on you, dear. And I absolutely love it. After that embarrassing decimation, I took my weary butt back to town, rested up, and found out from an NPC about some guy called Robin Hood. That's Ood without the H. Well, I guess he's my guy. After some wandering around, I found out that I needed to get to Skyfell Tower to find him, and get back the crown for the king. I really like the old way of just wandering around and talking to people until you piece together what your goal is. Modern games tend to lay everything out very obviously for you, with limited places you can go to kind of funnel you towards your goal, and have notes on your HUD like, hey, go here, go here. Dragon Quest III, however, gives you the option to either have story location markers on or off, which is really nice in my opinion. But once we got the crown back from the notorious Robin Hood, we were able to crown the king of Romeria once again. But he's kind of irresponsible because he decides to crown you instead to shirk his responsibilities and go watch monster arena battles. I can't really blame him, I suppose. Running a country is difficult. And after being queen for a day, I decided it wasn't for me and gave the crown back to the king, which he wasn't too happy about, naturally, but he at least took it with grace and let me be a free adventurer again. Now, as of writing this is where I have reached in the story so far. I'm honestly really impressed with how this remake has been put together. They've taken the charm and difficulty of the original game and enhanced it with an absolutely stunning 3D world. The character sprites keep the beauty of pixel art alive with detailed shading and animations, while making sure not to overdo it. The very iconic and beautiful soundtrack, composed by the wonderful Koichi Sugiyama, has been re-recorded to add a grandiose feeling to our adventure. You can feel the intended atmosphere in each village, with separate tracks for day and night. Daytime town music is so cheerful and light, it feels like you're just popping out for a trip to the market or to meet your friends. But I really love walking around towns at night because the music is so calming and lovely. I feel like I should be winding down for the night, reading a book and going to bed. The castle themes feel regal and light, showing you the whimsy and carefree nature of the rich. And then the world map music feels like a breath of fresh air, with the little quirkiness that suggests trouble around the next mountain. And then you walk into a dungeon and feel a little nervous. The music has a softer, more careful tone, as if to suggest taking very careful steps and peek around every corner. Then the battle music crashes in suddenly to shock you into action, but with this fun tone of confidence and strength which I love. I am so excited to keep playing more of this game. I want to keep looking for secret spots, friendly monsters, and find all the little quirks and mysteries of this exciting world. Dragon Quest III has officially made me a brand new Dragon Quest fan. Now, where can I find my obligatory slime plush? Thank you so much for watching. This is my first ever video, so I really hope I did well. Feel free to recommend other Dragon Quest games to me in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, I'd deeply appreciate it if you left a like or comment and subscribed. I'll be working on more JRPG themed videos soon. Have a great day, my fellow heroes!